Good evening, mathematicians. I have with me some mathematicians by my side as I record this. We have mathematician Annika, mathematician Yasmin, and mathematician Phoebe.
Yeah. The first learning target is I can divide a fraction by a whole number.
I can divide a whole number by a fraction.
Okay, here's the word problem. Annika, Yasmin, and Phoebe wanted to share 5/9 of a quart of milk to make their hot chocolate. How much milk will each person get if they each receive the same amount?
Okay, so I might show this first with a bar model, and I'll draw a rectangle. And I know that I have 5/9, so I want to make sure that I'm dividing this bar into 9 parts. So first I'll divide it in half, more or less, and then I'll divide, actually I shouldn't have done that because it's an odd number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a little too big on that side. Let's see if I can shrink the bar just a little bit to make it a little more even. Great, so now I have 9 equal parts. And I know that 5/9 is the quantity of milk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the quantity of milk in quarts that they actually have. So they have 5/9 quarts. This is what they have. And Annika, Yasmin, and Phoebe, those are 3 people. 1, 2, 3. They want to share the milk. Well, that means we're going to be dividing the 5/9. We're going to divide those 5/9 of a quart among the 3 people. Well, we know from our previous work that if we want to divide these among 3 people, we would make 3 equal groups. 1, 2, 3. Those are our 3 groups. And if we want to know how much each person would get, we would see how many boxes are in this first line right here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of how many? Well, we had 9 bars to begin with, but then we divided them into 3 groups. So I think there are 27 boxes altogether. Let's see if our algorithm matches that. So 5/9 divided by 3. We know that it's really 5/9 divided by 3 wholes. And we can use, here's our brand new fancy word, the reciprocal, to actually show that it'll be 5/9 times 1/3. So when we do the reciprocal of this second fraction, we also need to do the reciprocal of the operation. So the reciprocal of division is multiplication. The reciprocal of 3 wholes is 1/3. So now we can multiply. 5 times 1 is 5. 9 times 3 is 27. So each girl will receive 5/27 of a quart of milk to make their hot chocolate. Let's try a different one. Profigo Chris, that's me, has a ball of yarn that's 8 yards long. Each baby sweater, in case you didn't know this, I like to knit baby sweaters, uses 1/4 of a yard of yarn. How many baby sweaters can she make with all of her yarn? Okay, so here's what we know. I have 8 yards to begin with. I'm going to be dividing that whole 8 yards into pieces of 1/4 of a yard. So, what do we think we need to do here? 8 was my total, and that's why I put it first. I have 8 yards total. I'm dividing it. You can imagine it. Here's all my 8 yards. I'm going to do quarter, 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 quarter. How many quarters will I have? Which really means how many baby sweaters I could make. Well, we'd want to do this just like we did the other one. 8 turns into 8/1, 8 wholes, divided by 1/4. But guess what? This second fraction is still the one that we're going to find the reciprocal of, which means we want 8 wholes times 4/1, because the reciprocal of 1/4, is 4/1. And now we can multiply. 8 times 4 is 32. 1 times 1 is 1. The answer is I could make 32 baby sweaters with all of the yarn if each baby sweater required 1/4 of a yard, and I had 8 yards all together. So I could make 32 baby sweaters. Awesome.